point 3 Nigeria Info. This is Hard Facts with Kala Dakuru Batabo, and it's time for us to look at some trending issue. And I would like to get your thoughts on it when I do open the phone lines. As you must have heard, if you have been listening to the radio for the better part of today, you probably would have heard the story of Labour and federal government breaking up the agreement. So they had an agreement just before October 3. Remember, that was the day Labour was supposed to go on an indefinite strike. And the government reached an agreement with Labour and they promised them a couple of things, one of which is the 35,000 naira minimum wage. They also promised other things I can't remember now at the top of my head. However, Labour is looking at breaking the agreement. Basically, remember, the government has till the end of this month, October 31, to meet the demand or to implement the agreement. However, Labour is saying that the federal government never took Labour seriously. The federal government has breached the contract. The federal government is now looking at, at doing otherwise. And Labour is not having it, and for that reason, Labour is going to embark on a strike. And then I decided to investigate the matter. I looked at the different pages of the different newspapers who published this very story, and then I looked, and I was looking for the part where Labour would accuse the government of not being able to pay the wage award, the additional money to the minimum wage. Or I was looking for the part where government was going to say something like we are increasing petrol price. I was looking for something, and the reason why I was looking for the reason why Labour wants to go on strike is because, or what Labour is thinking, I'm not saying they want to, I made a mistake if I did, is thinking about going on strike. Remember on Sunday, and I think we talked about it as well, on Sunday, Labour gave a warning and told the government that if the government does not meet the agreements signed, then there would be no warning. There would be no warning, and that's why I'm saying going on strike, or I'm talking about going on strike, because they have already said there will be no warning, that the strike will just come upon us and everybody is just going to be shocked when it does happen. But I'm looking at it from the angle of our dire economy, our economy that is in a very very serious state. So serious that if we are not careful, there is going to be a problem. I saw something on social media where the federal government was saying that it does not have enough money, that it is just managing to pay salaries. I'm still trying to verify that report, but if that report is anything to go by, it is a pointer to the current state of our economy. I was just talking to someone outside the studio not so long ago, and we're talking about the dollar to the naira and how the naira no longer has, so much value. No value, I should say. No value, because every day, as we've seen in the past few days, the dollar continues to beat the naira, black, blue, and red, if I can add. So I'm thinking the economy is in a very dire state, and we cannot afford a strike now, especially from Labour, if it is not for a pertinent reason, if it's not for a good enough reason. And so that was why I decided to look critically into the reason why Labour wants to go on strike. And I would like your opinion on this. Really, I would. Because Labour wants to go on strike because of, should I call it, union politics? I understand all of that. Sometimes it affects how Labour, but should Nigerians get to suffer, or should I put it this way, should government be shut down because of union politics, and then the people who are already suffering. By the way, our next conversation has to do with petrol, and it's looking like petrol is also having issues. The supply of petrol is also having issues in the country, and then the Nigerian citizen is grappling with all of these, and things might just become even more complicated if Labour were to go on strike. So it's really important that we look at this, and it's really important that we ask ourselves the question: should we even be having this conversation in the first place? Should we be having Labour thinking in this direction in the first place? So let's go to the report as seen on one of the pages of the newspaper, and it is captioned on the Vanguard: FG Labour's deal under threat. NLC accuses Lalong of violation. Now, a nationwide strike looms as the agreement between the federal government and Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) on the implementation of measures to cushion the effects of petrol subsidy removal is currently threatened. The NLC yesterday accused the Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, of deviating from the agreement. Recall that the organised labour comprising the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) and Trade Union Congress (TUC) suspended its planned nationwide strike following an agreement reached with the government on October 2, 2023 to, among other things, pay 35,000 naira wage award to federal workers and ensure non-interference with the activities of the NURTW. Now, efforts to speak to the Minister of Labour and Employment yesterday proved abortive as calls put through to his mobile phone rang out without response. Right? The NLC is alleging that the Labour Minister was trying to force the new leadership on the NURTW in violation of both ILO Conventions 87 and 98 and the agreement reached between the government and Labour. The 30-day deadline for the agreement to come into fruition to avert a nationwide strike expires in less than 2 weeks. The NLC, in a statement issued by the General Secretary Mawel Ugbaja, vowed to continue to stand by the democratically elected NURTW leadership and work with them as the legitimate representatives of workers in the transport sector. Now, the question is, yet again, should all... I understand, and I'm one person who I stand by the law, I stand by justice, I stand by order. I'm not one who would like corruption to thrive, and I get all of that. But should all of Nigeria, because if Labour should go for the nationwide strike, a lot of important agencies, a lot of important institutions will have to shut down. And whether we like it or not, it will affect you and I directly and indirectly. So the question then is, should we be having such a conversation? Just like we say when we talk about the SUVs for House of Reps members, and we say it's not a good time for them to be receiving such official vehicles. Is this such a good time for the people in the labor unions to be going on strike just because of union politics yet again? And what does this say when we look at labor? What does this mean when we talk labor in Nigeria? These are some of the issues I like to think. Like we were talking yesterday, and we asked the question: has INEC lost its credibility? Has unionism lost its salt in Nigeria? And it's a very good question, right? Because over the years, looking at the history of Nigeria, unionism has helped in shaping, in developing, in even fighting for democracy in Nigeria. So when you think about unions, you want to say, oh, okay, these people are helping bring development to the country. But has that lost, as unionism lost its salt in the country? So I'd like to get your views. I've still got 3 minutes before the next commercial break. So I'd like to open the phone lines and maybe take a call or two, and let's talk for development. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Now, I think I need to sound it again. I have not said that the right thing should not be done with the transport union. No, I have not said that. I'm saying, should we shut down vital institutions in a time like this, where when things are hard, in a time like this when people are struggling to get by? Should we make it more difficult because we want to achieve a particular aim or target? So that's the conversation. It's should I say conundrum for me, because on one side I want the democratically elected leadership of the union to be in power, but at the same time, because this will affect market prices, this would affect production, which is already in a bad state in the country. This will affect a lot of things. So the question yet again, I've asked like 1,000 questions, right? But the most important one is, has unionism lost its salt in Nigeria? Just like we asked the credibility, or we asked about the credibility of INEC yesterday. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. For WhatsApp, use the number 0809-0306-416. We're live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. We're live on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH, and we're active on X, Nigeria Info PH. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we do come back, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this very issue. All right, do stay tuned to 92.3 Nigeria Info. This is Hard Facts. Indeed, hard facts with Kala Dakurubatsabo on 92.3 Nigeria Info is what we are having right now. It's what you're listening to right now. So we have been talking about labor and the possibility of the strike that was thwarted October 3. We're looking at that possibility because one of the major demands in that agreement by labor is being flouted by the federal government, and it is that the government would not involve itself in the leadership of the NURTW. I think it has to do with the Road Transport Workers Union. But then again, I'm asking, should it not be maybe the transport union workers going on strike, maybe in a particular place where it's been affected, so that maybe in Abuja, for instance, so that the government can feel it? Why does it have to be a national strike? Why do I have to suffer for it? Why do I have to why do I have to suffer for it? Why do I have to suffer for it, really? Given the current situation of things, petrol, it's a problem. Naira, it's a problem. Cost of living, it's a problem. So why do we want to do this? So the big question is, unionism, has it lost its salt in Nigeria? And don't get me wrong. Recently in the UK, we've seen certain unions go on strike, like the teachers' union, the junior doctors' union. Even the senior doctors union at some point were threatening to go on strike. We've seen was it railway workers union as well. A couple of people have gone on strike, and in the UK they were saying, is it the UK or is it England now? I need to confirm. But they were saying that inflation has gone up, the cost of things in that place has also gone up, and the salaries are no longer enough, and so they went on strike, and they were listened to. But I'm wondering, they don't always go on strike there, correct me if I'm wrong, but let's bring it back to Nigeria. Every now and then we have a threat from one union or the other that there will be a strike, and I'm asking you now, has unionism in Nigeria lost its salt? 08179230002 and 08179230003. How would a strike affect you? I mean, it's still 2 weeks away. The federal government may decide to stick by the letters in that agreement. The federal government may decide to, we're not going to get involved in the union's politics, and Labour may not even think about the strike anymore. But Labour has been subtly threatening for a couple of days now, right from the weekend up until now. They have been, subtly saying, we go strike, oh, we go strike, oh. 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. We're live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. We're active on X, Nigeria Info PH, and we're live on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH. All right, let's start with this one. This one says, NLC have lost its superiority over government. They are not learning from government's behavior and failed promise to them. They keep making the same mistakes. Ezekiel Isaiah. All right, I've got Roy from Abua. Okay. Hello, Roy. Welcome.
The agreement between Labour and the federal government is a result of some misunderstanding. The agreement is supposed to be concrete so that this endless strike by the union, Labour. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your time. Let's read some more messages. This one says, Melo Kaladakuru, the issue of official, I think we've moved on from that one. I'm sorry, Emmanuel, we've moved on. But this one says, good afternoon. To me, there is no labor in Nigeria. Why can't labor go on strike to protect the workers and the citizens? Clinton is calling from Bori. Let's listen to Clinton. Clinton, welcome.
Hello, Canada.
Yeah, welcome, please.
Yeah, this issue of NSA, I don't think we should take them seriously because they've lost value. They demanded for 1 month. They gave 1 month ultimatum to the government. It's not up to a month yet. It's just 2 weeks into the strike. So they should just wait until the time they've given the government is exhausted.
They are shouting now, so nobody will call them bad names when they decide to do what they want to do if government does not stick to the letters of the agreement. Oh my, yet again, the network is so terrible. All right, keep those calls coming in. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. This one says, Labour executives should step down. They're no longer serious. Confidence in Lebanon from Ozuzueche. And this one says, Labour should consider... Okay, Labour should proceed to strike without delay. I've got Christian, and Christian is calling from Awuda. Christian, welcome on the show. What is on your mind, please?
Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canada, organized labor in Nigeria, they have lost their value. And even the ones that are discussing with the federal government, is only going for the workers. What about the ones that are not working? See, we are the ones that are jobless. Are we not buying the same market with them? See, we are not in support of them. In fact, they should scrap labor. They should scrap labor.
All right. Thank you very much. I've got Muriel. Muriel is calling from Okrika. Muriel, greetings to you. What is on your mind, please?
Kalada, good evening.
Yeah, hi, good evening. Welcome.
Kalada, I'm not happy at all. Yesterday, I spent almost 10 minutes waiting. So they don't come easy, honestly.
You were waiting where? Where were you waiting?
Was it the 4 o'clock show?
I
waited for 7 minutes, 3 minutes, now 6 minutes again. Oh, Kalada, honestly.
I took your call the last time and you weren't saying anything. Ask the listeners, they'll tell you.
You did not.
I did.
No, this last one, this 3 o'clock.
I did, Muriel. Muriel, let's not argue.
You can
go on Facebook and check it. I took your call and I shouted, Muriel. You did not take it, but thank you very much for calling nonetheless. Keep those calls coming in. Let's take some other calls and let's see what you are thinking about the current situation. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp number should go to, or WhatsApp messages rather, should go to number 00616. And let's get to hear what is on your mind. I'm wondering what is taking so long, but let's go back to the messages and let's see what we have there. Okay. All right, this one says, good afternoon, man of the people, greetings. NLC and TUC are embarrassing themselves with empty threats from time to time. This is, I don't think our economy is in a bad shape. We should stop buying into the antics of the government to look as if we are in a mess. If we truly are in a dire need, our lawmakers will not go ahead to buy SUVs for themselves. Nigeria is rich, we're not broke. Let's stop believing these guys that keep lying to us. Any government that is truly broke will not go and appoint 40 plus ministers. Franklin, all right, Franklin, thank you very much. I just want to say, Canada, in as much as this labor is chaired by Joe Ajero, they are toothless backing. I think you meant to say they are a toothless bulldog. No Nigeria will ever take them serious because it is crystal clear that they're just there for themselves, not for Nigerians. It seems that the brown envelope, come on now, that's an accusation. Amadu Charles, I would not take it. I'm moving on. Edwin from Rumusi, welcome. Greetings to you. Welcome on the show.
Good afternoon, Kalada.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Kalada, you see, one thing is just certain that they both in the government side and the labor are not sincere. How would the labor come up now to begin to shout that the government are not keeping to their agreement anymore? And the labor side, all they do is to be stressed and upon threat, and nothing is coming out of it. So we don't take them serious. It's just every day we have headlines, paper news in the radio and all that. What has happened all this while till now? Nothing. So they are not sincere. They have a box of unsincere people here in the corridor of government, just for their own personal endearment, for their own personal, nothing much. What have been their intention? Their intention is just to get there and collect whatever they want for their own selves and their family. That is why Nigeria is plunging into what Nigeria is today. We can't take them serious anymore. We don't take the government serious. Laborers of that kind, we don't take it serious. So what has come out of the argument of this one?
All right then. You can't point to the 35,000 naira wage award that might be implemented by the end of this month. You can congratulate him for that, right, Adrian? I'm asking. But let's move on now. This one says on the issue of impending strike, if government fails to meet the demands of labor in any way, let's see. I'm not understanding the part. He said on the issue of impending strike, if government fails to meet the demands of labor in a way to salvage the... I'm finding it difficult to read your message, Emmanuel. You would have to rewrite and make me understand what you're trying to say. But hello, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Yeah, Jude Bani is my name.
All right, Jude, welcome.
I'm calling from Omuma.
All right, welcome, Jude.
Canada. The problem in Nigeria are the people themselves.
Okay. Okay.
It looks to me like they not understand the way labor works and who are labor. If it's labor, include the market women, the artisans, and the trade unions, the associations, senior staff associations are affiliates of the labor. You have the pension, you have a senior staff of university. Some people don't negotiate. They don't come at the negotiation table. They go back to the affiliates or the branches, consult with them, and come back. So when these processes are going on, people may think labor, they are not working. They are just after their pocket. I have never been member of the labor. No, I have never. So I'm trying to explain. So if they go on strike or they call on strike and people refuse to turn out, nonchalant attitude of the masses, the market women, and the other branches, labor is not going to work. The strike can only be effective if it's a mass movement, people joining the strike.
All right.
Like the police something that worked, the SAS, anti-SAS something. Because it was a mass movement. So people should understand
so
that.
Are you saying, Jude, that the current situation, the current economic situation, the subsidy removal on petrol is not something that is a mass movement, is not something that affects everybody? Is that what you're saying?
I say it calls for total strike.
Okay.
Because the people are suffering.
Okay.
Labor represents the people.
But then now the reason why they want to go on strike is because of a part, one of the affiliates union. That is why they want to go on strike. Can you hear me, Jude?
I can hear you now, yes.
I said one of the reasons why they want to go on strike, or the reason why they want to call off the agreement, if they do call off the agreement, is because of one of the affiliate unions, and that is the NURTW, the Road Transport Workers Union, and they want to go on strike because of the politics therein. Is that something you and I should suffer for? And that's the question I'm asking as well.
You see, if they have what they call sympathy strike. if that is happening in Lagos,
okay,
they can only have sympathy because it's a branch or affiliate of the labor union. So it's not going to be total.
All right then. All right, thank you very much.
They can only have that sympathy.
All right. Thank you very much for your time,
the
Jude.
road transport or whatever.
All right,
Tracking in
Jude.
Lagos. It's not going to be total. It's not going to be in Port Harcourt or Abuja or other places. No.
All right, Jude. Thank you very much for your time. Zion from GRA, welcome. What is on your mind, please?
I think our over-dependence on labor to make Nigeria better is causing us more harm. What are you depending on labor for?
All right.
Labor is an organization that have destroyed this country.
How have they destroyed this country? That's a very, very
what
weighty
labor
statement,
have
please.
demanded for by themselves. Tell me what they have reflected or that's reflected on your personal economy or the economy of this country. Mention any agitation by labor that has improved the commerce and the economy of this country. Labor is a group of people fighting for their interests to survive the problem they cause to us. You as a people, which is the office of the people, can't you people mobilize yourself and protect your country? You are calling on labor that most of their children are schooling abroad. You are calling on labor that most of their properties are in outside this country. Their businesses are outside this country. It's so unfortunate when labor will just depend on labor. Labor will do this, labor will go on strike. Labor is not going on strike for you. Labor is going on strike because their interests is at stake. For once, can we allow labor to be? I, Mr. Zion, see labor as the enemy of this country.
All right, then.
And their agitations have caused us more harm. Look at all what they have asked out of the subsidy removal. Give us money. They are not talking about
What about refineries? They talked about the refineries. They talked about CNG buses. They talked about CNG buses.
Canada, if labor is a petrol of this country, they will not be talking about refineries.
Right.
They will be talking about the modular refineries that are already ready. All they are looking for is crude to refine. NNPC don't want to give them crude. Labour would have taken this matter to President Tinubu. Mr. Tinubu, look at refineries. All modular refineries are ready.
All right, Zion.
And we are giving you 2 days ultimatum. Send NNPC to start giving this crude.
Zion, I've got to go. Zion, I've got to go. Zion, I've got to go.
Avoid labor, fear labor.
Okay, thank you very much. But then again, if you're just joining the conversation and you're joining in time because I've got a few more minutes, about 5 more minutes thereabout, and we're looking at the issue of unionism in Nigeria, and I'm asking a question: has unionism lost its flavor? Has it lost its salt in Nigeria? Given that at every turn, at every corner, every now and then we get to hear about labor threatening, one union or the other threatening to go on strike. And I'm asking because yet again the federal government is said to be deviating from an agreement made with labor. Is it because the government has lost its respect for labor? Or what could be the reason? According to NLC, the federal government is trying to foist leadership on the NURTW, that is the National Union of Road Transport Workers, and there is already a democratically elected leadership for that union. However, I'm wondering, should all of Nigeria get to suffer? Because if there is a shutdown, it will affect major institutions like Jude did talk about. He mentioned some of the institutions. There is Pengasin, there is ASU, there is the Senior Staff Association, in the university. There is, it will affect even the power sector. So the question then is, should all of Nigeria be suffering for the politics in a particular union? Should we not be looking at other ways, other means, other channels to solving the problem between the federal government and the union in particular? For instance, when ASU has a problem, it's the universities that shut down, not everybody. But when NLC comes out to say there will be a national strike if the federal government does not keep to that agreement, that particular part of the agreement, then I'm confused. 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp messages, you go to the number 0809 0306416. Believe this NLC at your own peril. These labor leaders are not different from politicians because they don't even mind the plight of other Nigerians but themselves alone. Comrade Iceberg Okegbu. I've got Mac. Mac is calling from Port Harcourt. Mac, greetings to you. Welcome on the show. Hello, Mark. Are you there?
Hello.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. Yeah, good afternoon.
Okay. Canada, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't wanted to call this program, but since you mentioned an issue concerning NUWRT, the road transport workers. Yeah. So I want to ask, those people, I don't know those ones that are constituting nuisance on our roads, collecting
no, Mark.
People should not begin to take government. Government should do whatever thing they know they can do in order to control those people if they are union. Because up to now, I still don't know who those guys are.
All right, thank you very much. Mark, I've got to let you go.
Who are they accountable to? All those money they collect on all disturbing drivers in all motor parks. Are they not the people you are referring to NUWRT?
It's a union of road transport workers. So even the drivers are part of that union. So you cannot say you cannot say no, Mark, no. All right, thank you very much, Mark. I've got to let you go at this point. You cannot say they are constituting a nuisance. Without the transport workers, you would not be able to move from point A to point B. Now, how they tend to, and this is what I'm also talking about, how they tend to politicize or how they tend to bring about their own leadership and control themselves does not necessarily affect you and I. If we're not a part of that, what we want is that them being able to give us proper service, right? That's what I do think. So you can't come on air and call them a nuisance, all right? I don't think they come to steal your goods or they come to take your stuff. But any which way, let's keep moving the conversation. It's almost time for a commercial break. I've got a call coming in. But let's look at this one. Terminus Aki Jumble, the international community are very funny. They're supplying... I don't get your message actually, Terminus Aki Jumble. I've got to skip. I've got Sunday from Oibo. Sunday, welcome on the show. Let's get what is on your mind.
Yeah, Canada. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
I'm Mr. Nahu calling from Oibo.
All right, welcome.
You see, Canada, labor is crying more than National Union of Road Transport Workers. It's a body on.
But it's an affiliate. It's an affiliate body. It's an affiliate body of labor. It's an affiliate.
Okay. It's an affiliate body. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. It's an affiliate body. Yes. Under the labor. Yes. Can you hear me now?
I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
So I believe that they have workers, they have people under the national union. If the workers or the road transport workers find out that there is the leadership at Abuja or we are having problems, I think we are the one to say that we withdraw our services from the road.
Okay.
Why is labor just telling the national union members that they want to go, right? They want to telling the federal government they are shielding us, they are covering us. If the former body, the affiliate body, the main body that was sacked, did not do well, now the road transport workers went ahead and did their election and constituted their body. Canada, I want to tell you, if you go to Abuja there, the people occupying the national secretariat, they are labor leaders, they are unionists, they are drivers. Do you understand me? So
what's your point? What's your point?
Saying that the federal government is shielding nationally, they want to go to strike, they want to destroy. Why is the road transport workers are not crying that they want to withdraw their service?
All right then.
So thank you very much. This is the things they are doing that make people to suspect them that they are chasing shadows.
All right, thank you very much. I've got to go now at this point, and there's a commercial break coming up.
After this, Exalted Eagle Nigeria